This is Antoinette Peñanueva. Yes, you are. She is currently a second-year nursing student at the University of Rizal System, Tete Campus, and she must now accomplish her preliminary term main requirement for STS.
Good day everyone, I am Antoinette Peñanueva from University of Rizal System, Taytay Campus.
Your section?
2B.
We use televisions for amusement, laptops for better presentations at work, or even at school, and cell phones for communication. Thanks to technology, we have several possibilities. Everything is simpler, more effective, and easier to access these days. However, how does this actually occur? Let us all clear the path for technological advancement. The Evolution of Technology, a journey with Jim AL-Khalili, which explores the evolution of information as a fundamental force of shaping the modern world, beginning with the invention of writing in ancient Mesopotamia. Let's get it started with the invention of writing. Over 5,000 years ago, in ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians developed writing on clay tablets. Writing transforms spoken sounds into durable symbols, allowing ideas to exist outside human minds and persist across millennia. For us, this is the ancestor of nursing note. Because before we have a medical knowledge or a pieces of memory, writing allowed information to endure over time. Just like our shift handovers ensure patients' data survives from one nurse to the next.
Evidence of the very first written communication between humans, and as such they are very special indeed.
To economic practices from 3400 BC right up to the time of Christ.
Capturing the invisible order of the world in order to create a better, safer future has been the objective from the earliest symbols inscribed in clay to the digital EMRs we use today. As we begin our clinical rotations, keep in mind that every symbol you write and every item of information you record is a part of 5,000-year-old human quest to understand the power of information. And now that we know how the invention of writing started, let us all fast forward to the Industrial Revolution. In year of 1804, Joseph Marie Jacquard invented a loom that could be programmed to weave any pattern using punch card.
So if we can hide or weave interactivity and input devices into the materials, that will be the first step to making computers and computing invisibly integrated into the objects and materials and clothing. So this is exciting to me.
Where he found out that complex patterns could be encoded with simple binary-like symbols, revealing that abstracted information can instruct a machinery.
Interesting because it's something you are very familiar with. It's just textile.
But before I tell you more, let me introduce with you who really Joseph Marie Jacquard. The process of weaving pattern cloth was revolutionized when French weaver and businessman Joseph Marie Jacquard patented his innovation in 1804. To weave fabric on a loom, a thread called the web is passed over and under a set of threads called the warp. It is interlacing of threads at the right angles to each other that forms a cloth. The particular order in which the web passes over and under the warp threads determine the patterns that is woven into the fabric. Noon kasi, bago pa magkaroon ng sistema si Jacquard, kinakailangan pa ng mananahi ng katunggali, kung saan uupo siya sa atop na kanilang tinatawag isang loom na mano-manong tumataas at bumababa ang mga sinulid upang makabuo ng pattern cloth. Ang problema lang, mabagal at matrabahong proseso ito. For the clear process, a designer first paints their pattern onto the squared paper. A card maker then translates the pattern row by row onto the punch card. For each square on the paper that has been painted in, the card maker punches a hole in the card. For each painted square, no hole is punched. The cards, each with their own combination of punch holes corresponding to the part of the pattern they represent, are then laced together, ready to be fed one by one through the Jacquard mechanism fitted at the top of the loom. When a card is pushed towards a matrix of pins in the Jacquard mechanism, the pins pass through the punch holes, and hooks are activated to raise their warp threads. Where are no holes, the pins press against the cards, stopping the corresponding hooks from raising their threads. A shuttle then travels across the loom, carrying the web thread under the warp that have been raised over those that have not. This repeating process causes the loom to produce the pattern cloth that the punch card has instructed it to create. Now, in the 19th century, electricity became a way to send information faster than matter. However, Morse code developed in the 1840s, which is a system used as short and long electrical pulses like dots and dashes to encode the alphabet efficiently. According to Claude Shannon, the bit, which is the smallest unit of information. Because by breaking complex things like a heartbeat or an X-ray into simple bits, we can transmit them across the globe instantly.
Wait, are you familiar with telehealth? Exactly. So,
A patient's ECG isn't sent as a piece of paper. It's translated into bits, sent via electricity, and reconstructed on a doctor's screen miles away. In 1867, James Clerk Maxwell proposed a thought-up experiment where a tiny demon controls the door between two chambers of a gas. By opening and closing the door to sort past particles from slower ones, the demon can theoretically decreases the entropy of the gas without doing any work. For over 100 years, scientists struggled to explain why this wouldn't actually violate the law of physics. The breakthrough came with the discovery that information is a form of entropy. The demon doesn't actually violate the law because her own memory must be accounted for in the system's total entropy. And resolving the paradox led to the insight that information is embodied and its manipulation has a thermodynamic cost. Erasing a bit requires a minimum energy. Maxwell demons fails to break the second law because the act of processing and erasing the information required to create order and generates more of this order, entropy, elsewhere in the universe, revealing that Maxwell demon isn't actually demon. As we know, that the demon had to observe this information to perform his task. Therefore, at the end, we are in a macro state where the information in the demon's memory can be one of 4 different possible configurations. Hence, the entropy of information in the demon's memory has increased. And this has offset the decrease in entropy of forcing the ball into one specific location. But if information is a form of entropy, what if try to decrease the entropy of the universe by simply asking the demon to forget this information? As it turns out, this will not decrease the entropy of the universe. Because if the demon tries to erase her memory, she will dissipate energy as heat, thereby increasing the entropy of her surrounding. Now, let's return to the original example. When we begin, the demon's memory can be a blank slate and contain no information. But as she observed the position and velocities of the particles to know when to open the door, her memory starts to fill up with information. The more her memory fills up, the more entropy of the information in her brain increases, thereby offsetting the decrease in entropy of the particles in the box. If her memory fills up completely, she will have to erase some information in her memory in order for her to continue. But as the demon erases information in her memory, she has to dissipate heat, thereby increasing the entropy of the surroundings. Therefore, the overall entropy of the universe never decreases, and the second law of thermodynamics is never violated. Alan Turing is often called the father of modern computer science because he provided the logical blueprint for the machines we use today. While the physical technology has changed from vacuum tubes to silicon chips, the underlying brain of computer still operates on his ears. Before Turing, computers were usually people or single-purpose machines, like a calculator that could only add up. In 1936, Turing described a theoretical universal machine. He realized that the machine didn't need to be built for just one task. If you only gave it a program or a set of instructions or algorithm, it could become any machine. A typewriter, a calculator, or even a chess player. Alan Turing formalized computation by showing that the algorithmic process could be executed by a universal machine, given appropriate symbolic instructions, enabling one device to perform countless tasks by changing its stored programs. To take everything into account, engineers built the body of the modern computer. However, Alan Turing built its soul, the logical framework that allows a single machine to perform an infinite variety of tasks.
Kaya pwede tayong gumamit ng calculator while gumagamit din ng flashlight. And at the same time, we can also play our favorite music.
While Alan Turing gave the computer its brain, or logic, Claude Shannon gave its voice to communicate. In 1948, Claude Shannon quantified information in terms of unexpectedness and introduced the bit as the basic unit. Bounding information theory and enabling digital encoding of all media. Before Shannon, people thought of information based on its meaning, like a poem versus a weather report. But then Shannon realized that for technology to evolve, we have to ignore the meaning and focus on its symbol. He proved that any information, like text, sound, or images, could be encoded into binary digits, or the bits. The bit, he coined the term to binary digit, or bit, as a fundamental atom of information. This allowed any data, like sounds, pictures, or text, to be converted into a digital format. The American mathematician and computer scientist who conceived and laid the foundations for information theory is none other than Claude E. Shannon. Claude E. Shannon was born on April 13, 1916 in Petoskey, Michigan. After attending his primary and secondary school in his neighborhood hometown of Gaylord, he earned bachelor's degree in both electrical engineering and mathematics from University of Michigan. After graduation, Shannon moved to Massachusetts Institute of Technology to pursue his graduate studies. While at MIT, he worked with Dr. Vannevar Bush on one of the early calculating machines, the differential analyzer, which used as a precise own system of shafts, gears, wheels, and disks to solve equations in calculus. Though analog computers like this turned out to be little more than the footnotes in the history of computer, Dr. Shannon quickly made his mark with digital electronics, a considerable and more influential idea. In a prize-winning master thesis completed in the Department of Mathematics, Shannon proposed a method for applying a mathematical form of logic called the Boolean algebra to the design of relay of switching circuits. This innovation created as the advance that transformed circuit design from an art to a science. This remains the basis for circuit and chip designs to this day. According to Shannon, information is about unexpectedness. For example, if a patient's heart rate is consistently 70 BPM, that is a low information. But if it abruptly increases to 140 BPM, that is a high information, since it is unexpected. It is our responsibility as nurses or future nurse to act as information processor, searching for unanticipated beats that indicate a patient is in danger. Maaaring nasa umpisa pa lamang tayo ng paglalakbay sa patuloy na pag-aaral at pagsusuri ng kalagahan at importansya ng impormasyon. Ngunit naniniwala ako na tayong may narating na at may mapupuntahan pa. Nang sa ganun, ay atin pang makita ang kagandahan na dulot ng teknolohiya.